Hi folks, Chris in Arena Recording Studio. Today I'm going to give you a really in-depth breakdown of how to achieve 3-string sweeping in a matter of minutes. This is really quite an easy approach to this. I'm going to base the shapes off the 5-string arpeggios. For those of you that don't know what an arpeggio is actually the notes of a chord played as a single line, okay? So with sweep picking, what we're trying to do is play these important notes of a chord as a single line, and we're going to work on the 3 strings of the G, B and the E to give us this kind of pattern. Okay, so the full shape is this. So that's the major shape, then we go to the B minor. That's the B minor, the same shape, slide it down 2 frets. Another minor shape, and then we go to the G major. So those are the 4 positions that we're going to work in, and the 3 strings of the G, B and the E, they're only the ones that they're going to worry about. So we're not going to bother about these 2 bassier sounding strings because we can build up to those once we've got the technique down. So as I say, an arpeggio is the notes of a chord played as a single line, okay? So this is why they were very popular. You could play a chord and then sweep pick these really cool sounding phrases and licks over the top of them, and it sounded really brilliant, and it was quite a pioneering sound in the 80s and 90s when this sort of stuff came out, okay? So how we're going to approach this is when we sweep pick, we literally, if you've watched my planting video with the pick, you'll see how this is so important to get this in place, and this is a classic example of why we need to plant this pick. So really what we're going to do is have the pick. I would suggest getting yourself a string wrap actually as well. If you haven't got a string wrap that you can pop up there just to deaden those strings a little bit, then just tie a cloth, a sock or anything around there, because it's really going to help for you to articulate the notes and hear what's going on properly without a lot of mush and overdrive killing the situation for you, okay? So I put that one up there and I'm right up round about the 5th, 6th fret. Okay, so that gives me this. It really does deaden the strings, and I need that to be able to hear every single element of what we're going to work on. And this sounds technical, but it's all actually quite easy when you follow the concepts of what we're going to follow now, okay? So when we sweep pick, what we do, we plant the pick. So again, watch that planting pick video if you're unsure of that. The link should be up there somewhere. So again, yeah, so you plant the pick on the G string, you push and rest on the next string, push and rest on the next string, push. So we're only going to do a 3-pick downward motion. So we're going to go push, push, push. Now, some guys will go push, 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 upstroke, pull off. So that gives us this kind of thing. So when I push the pick, I'm pushing through the string and it lands on the next string, so I can't miss that string. I'm actually in contact with that string. So this is why the planting and the pushing through is very, very important on a lot of lead phrases and techniques that we're going to be working over the next few weeks or months, okay? So I'm not going to introduce this up pick on this 15th fret and the pull off and the pick there on the 13th fret of the B string. I'm going to just go. See what I did? It was kind of push, 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 hammer on, pull off, hammer on. Now some guys out there, and you'll find these videos, and there's nothing wrong with this, I'm just trying to make this an easy approach for you. Like I said earlier on in the video, the idea is to get you through a sweep picking routine as quickly as possible. If you are doing this, give us a little comment below. It does make my day to hear how you're all going on. Okay, so back to the video. So we've got this, some guys will literally do this, like I say, push, 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 upstroke, pull off, upstroke. me, we've introduced 2 extra picks. 2 more picks, more difficulty in my old brain, so I kind of like it simple. So that's the major shape. If we just go back to this push, 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 we're just doing 3 down pushes, that's all. No upstrokes, so we've simplified it, but we've got the same sounding lick. That's the picked version. Now this is the hammer on and pull off version. Okay, so you can develop this speed with this pick really quickly. So that's the major shape, and that's what you need to do, is practice this C major arpeggio shape. Get the shape learnt across all 5 strings before you break it down into 3, because then you can add the 4th string and the 5th string and create these 5 string monster sweeps for your arpeggios, which are brilliant. Okay, so first play the major arpeggio slowly with this on, palm muting as well. I'm actually adding an element of palm muting, so this is all to do with controlling your technique. Okay, so the pick's doing that. The next position we move on to is this B minor shape, because what we need to practice is just going from major, minor, minor, major. It's just practicing the 2 shapes. So literally you can then put your own chord progressions together and play a major arpeggio. It's a major chord. Obviously if it's a minor chord, you can play the minor arpeggio, and you'll find that put some cool chord progressions and then practicing these 3 note sweeps is really good. So the next shape, like I say, we've got the minor shape. That's the B minor. The A minor, and then the G major. Okay, so what I would do is learn them all in each position, spend maybe 3-4 minutes of push, 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 push. Get that down, get that synchronized, you know, get left and right hands working together. That's the key element of this. Palm mute, string wrap, just to control those extra notes. You can probably hear all sorts of buzzes and pops and things going on this. That's what you're trying to control, okay? Then work for maybe 5 minutes on the... Don't think about speed, think about quality. And then, again, do sort of 5 minutes on each. Do that for a few days till you're really comfortable and confident. Don't think that you're in a marathon or a race to rush through all these things. Make sure everything that you're practicing is perfect. If you're making a mistake, we'll go back to this first position. If you're making a mistake, slow down. Think about the quality. I think if you practice this for sort of 25-30 minutes a day, within a week you'll be probably mind blown at where you've actually taken this. You'll be surprised because it's such a simple, repetitive technique that you can build this really quickly. Then the next thing I would do is focus on a real quality practice of playing the 4 chords of C major, B minor, A minor, G major. And then focus on the 4 chords. So then you're combining those 4 chords, you're putting those together in the context of a nice chord progression of C major, B minor, A minor, G major. Then the next phase is to take this and build your speed in each position. Now, how I would do this, I would just isolate each one again. You don't want to be making any mistakes. If you're making mistakes, you're still not ready to push your speed barrier, okay? So, start slowly. Burst of speed like that. Rest a few seconds. Just lets your brain, it lets your concentration reset. Don't try and play a mammoth loop for 30 seconds or a minute. It's just, your brain kind of wanders, it switches off. With something like this, you just want a short burst like that. So again, start slowly and then pick up the speed. Few seconds of that, rest again. Your brain is now disconnected from what you're trying to do. Then what you're going to do is do the whole process again, and that is going to reconnect your concentration levels through the roof again. So slowly, and then build that speed. Practice that for maybe 5 minutes in that position, and then rinse and repeat. Short bursts again, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 or 10 of those little pauses in between. So important to reset. And then do your A minor position and your G major position. When you've got comfortable at that and you're at a really comfortable speed and you're happy with where you are, then it's just a case of putting those 4 chords together, using the metronome, because that is then going to tighten up the change from one chord to the next, to the next, to the next, because that is something that we've neglected while we're working this way. So again, focus on the C with a click going, even if it's slow, just get that timing right, because then you're focusing on the transition from one chord to the next chord, then the next chord. So your metronome is going to tighten all those bits up for you. And again, don't think that you're in a race. It's not about speed, it's about building quality. The speed is something that you work on separately. Any scalar patterns that I work on with any of the shred students that come in the studio, I literally do short bursts, plant the pick, short bursts. This is exactly the same technique. It's several stages of practice, and this is where a lot of tuition gets kind of mistaught, in my opinion. You need to understand the concepts of being able to learn something slowly. If it's a repetitive lick like this, where you just push, 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 that's really easy to manage. Get that right first. Don't even think about the arpeggio, just learn the... Just get that down. Once you've got that technique of just pushing through those 3 strings, then add the fingering of the three strings for the arpeggios. Then learn the positions. So again, you're doing this in small bite-sized chunks, or little baby steps, as they say. And you will then find that you'll burst those speeds in one position separately, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes each one if you've got that luxury of practice time. And then metronome then, where you will then connect all 4 sweep picking chords, the arpeggios, together, and see how you go on. And again, if you start to incorporate mistakes when you apply the metronome, it's down to the fact that either your technique has changed or you're practicing too fast. Don't be proud. Slow it down. Get to a comfortable time with your metronome where you can play this flawlessly. So it might be something where you're just literally doing a... might be that tempo, it might be slower, but you'll find then that you can then do your burst practice in isolation. And then all of a sudden, all these things that have been spread around, they start to do this very, very quickly. So your coordination, your synchronicity, your speed all starts to come in. You'll suddenly up the metronome and you'll probably go 30, 40, 50 clicks up and then play it and out it will come. And you'd be pleasantly surprised, okay? So that's how I would approach learning 3-string arpeggios for sweep picking. It is a great technique. It does sort of, like I said earlier, slip into that folder of tricks to me rather than quality melodic stuff to play on. But if you can do it, you can use it and it's great. So do it. Everything that you learn is an extra tool on your journey as a guitar player, whether it's a scale, whether it's a chord, whether it's a lick or a hammer on or a puller off, all those things that you're working on are all part of your creativity as a guitar player. So the more of those tools you've got, the better you are, the better you improvise, the better your timing is, the better you play, the better you work with other musicians. So it's all a big journey. So don't think that this journey is a sprint. It's not, it's a marathon. And again with this, give yourself say 3 weeks, a month to master just those on their own, because when you've got them forever. Okay, so again, give us a like and a subscribe to the channel. It does make my day. And if you want to comment and let me know how you're going on, or show me any links to any videos if you're doing this kind of stuff, it'd be brilliant, because I love to see all the progress and chat about it on the YouTube channel with everybody as well. So as always, if you do have any problems, let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you. As always, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you very soon.